In the last lecture, we have learnt about the humoral immunity, its phases, types and effector mechanisms. In this lecture, we are going to learn about the cell-mediated immunity, its phases, types and effector mechanisms. Cell-mediated immunity, also known as cell-mediated immune response, is a branch of adaptive immunity that fights the infections caused by intracellular microbes. It is mediated by T lymphocytes. There are two probable reasons why the microbes gain entry within the cells. 1. When the macrophages phagocytose the microbes as early defense, some of them are so evolved that they resist the microbicidal activities of the phagocyte and can not only survive but replicate within the vesicle of the phagocytes. Some of them may enter the cytoplasm of the infected cells and multiply using nutrients from the cytoplasm. Once within the cytoplasm, these microbes are protected from the killing by the phagocytes as the microbicidal activity is restricted to the vesicle only. 2. Viruses are intracellular parasites. Therefore, when they infect the host cell and replicate in the cytoplasm of the host cells, the infected cells do not possess any intrinsic mechanism of killing the viruses. Some viruses integrate their DNA into the host genome and remain latent for a long period of time. To eliminate such infective agents, those either live in the vesicle of the phagocyte or within the cytoplasm of the infected cells is the major function of the T lymphocytes. Phases of T cell responses. The T cell responses are initiated when the multi-receptors on T cells recognize ligands on APCs. The T cell receptor recognizes MHC associated peptide antigens, CD4 or CD8 co-receptors recognize MHC molecules. Adhesion molecules strengthens the binding of T cells with APCs, and receptors for co-stimulators recognize second signals provided by the APCs. Apart from these, certain accessory molecules present in the T cells also complement the different stages of T cell activation like recognition, signaling and adhesion. Recognition of MHC associated peptides. The TCR along with the CD4 or CD8 co-receptor together recognize the MHC peptide complex on the APC. This acts as the first or initiating signal for T cell activation. When the TCR recognizes the peptide associated with the MHC molecule, at the same time CD4 or CD8 recognizes the MHC class 2 or class 1 molecule respectively at the site different from the peptide binding cleft. Thus, CD4 positive cells recognize extracellular antigens presented by MHC class 2 molecule, while CD8 positive cells recognize the intracellular antigens presented by MHC class 1 molecules. Two or more TCRs and co-receptors must be engaged simultaneously to generate an appropriate biochemical signaling cascade. Once these conditions are achieved, T cell begins its activation. T cell activation. The biochemical signals required for activation of T cells are triggered by a set of proteins linked to TCR to form TCR complex and by CD4 or CD8 co-receptors. The TCR recognizes the antigen but is unable to transmit the signals to the interior of the cell. The TCR is associated with a complex of 3 proteins that together make CD3 and a homodimer of another signaling protein called zeta chain. The variable TCR alpha and beta chains perform the function of antigen recognition, whereas the conserved signaling function is performed by the attached CD3 and zeta proteins. There is a small subset of T cells which express TCR made of gamma and delta chains, which are structurally similar to alpha and beta chains of TCR. Gamma delta T cells are present on the epithelial surfaces and prevent the host from pathogens entering through epithelia. Most of them do not recognize MHC associated peptides but recognize lipids and other molecules present in the microbes. Role of adhesion molecules in T cell activation. The binding of the T cells with APCs is stabilized by the adhesion molecules present on the T cells with their ligands present on the APCs. The most important of these adhesion molecules belongs to the family of heterodimeric proteins called integrins. The major T cell integrin involved in binding to APC is leukocyte function associated antigen 1, that is LFA1, and its ligand present on APC is called intracellular adhesion molecule 1, that is ICAM1. Role of co-stimulation in T cell activation. Co-stimulators, previously referred as second signals, are aptly called so because they provide stimuli to T cells that function together with stimulation by antigen. The two best defined co-stimulators for T cells are B7-1, also known as CD80, and B7-2, also known as CD86, both of which are expressed on the surface of professional APCs and whose expression is greatly increased when they encounter microbes. B7 proteins are recognized by CD28 receptor present on all T cells. Another set of molecules that increase the co-stimulatory signals for T cells are CD40 ligand present on T cells and CD40 present on APCs. CD40L expressed on the activated T cell stimulates T cells to bind to CD40 on APCs and activates them to express more B7 co-stimulator and to secrete cytokines such as IL-12 that enhances T cell differentiation. Responses of T cells to antigens and co-stimulation. The antigen recognition and co-stimulation by T cells triggers a series of reactions resulting in the clonal expansion of the antigen-specific lymphocytes and differentiation of naive T cells into effector cells and memory cells. The activated T cells secrete cytokines which act on T cells themselves and other cells involved in immune defenses. Cytokine secretion and expression of cytokine receptors. T cells, especially CD4 positive T cells, in response to antigen and co-stimulators, secrete several cytokines which perform various functions. Cytokines are a large group of proteins which act as mediators of immunity and inflammation. Different cytokines have distinct functions and play different roles in immune responses. IL-2 is the first cytokine to be produced after 1 to 2 hours of T cell activation. At the same time, ability of the T cells to bind to IL-2 is also greatly enhanced by increased expression of IL-2 receptor on its surface. The main function of IL-2 is to stimulate T cell proliferation and hence also referred to as T cell growth factor. It stimulates T cells to enter the cell cycle and start dividing, thus increasing the number of the antigen-specific T cells. However, CD8 positive T cells, after recognizing antigen and co-stimulators, do not secrete large amounts of IL-2, indicating that antigen recognition itself stimulates its proliferation without the requirement for IL-2. In some cases, CD8 positive T cell activation may require CD4 positive T cell that activate and produce IL-2. Clonal expansion of T cells. 1 or 2 days after activation, T cells start proliferating, thus resulting in the expansion of the antigen-specific clones. This provides a large population of antigen-specific T cells, which in turn would generate effector T cells that would finally combat infection. CD4 positive effector cells produce cytokines that further activate other effector cells, while CD8 positive T cells convert into cytotoxic T lymphocytes, which themselves kill the infected cells. Differentiation of naive T cells into effector cells. The progeny of the antigen-stimulated T cells differentiate into effector cells and participate in eliminating infection. The CD4 positive Th cells differentiate into effector cells that produce surface molecules and cytokines that activate macrophages and B lymphocytes. One such most important surface protein is CD40 ligand, which is expressed on Th cells after activation. Its receptor is present on the macrophages, B cells and dendritic cells. Binding of CD40L with CD40 receptor stimulates expression of co-stimulators on APCs and produce cytokines that activate T cells. CD4 positive Th cells further differentiate into subsets of effector cells, namely Th1 and Th2, which produce distinct sets of cytokines. Th1 produces interferon gamma that inhibits viral infection, stimulates and promotes phagocytosis of pathogens and activates complement. Interferon gamma also stimulates the expression of MHC class II molecules on the macrophages, thus further amplifying T cell response. Th2 cells produce IL-4 that stimulates IgE production and IL-5 which activates eosinophil. It also produces IL-10 and IL-13 that inhibit macrophage activation and suppress Th1 cell mediated immunity. CD8 positive T cells, when activated by antigen and co-stimulators, differentiate into CTLs that kill the infected cells expressing the antigen. They secrete proteins that create pores in the membranes of the infected cells and further induce DNA fragmentation and apoptosis of these cells. Memory T cell formation. Some of the antigen activated T cells differentiate into long-lived memory T cells. These cells survive even after the infection is eradicated. They migrate to the lymphoid tissues, mucosal barriers as well as in circulation. They do not continue to produce cytokines or killing of infected cells until they do so rapidly when they encounter the antigen they recognize, that is, in case of reinfection. Decline of immune response. Once the infection is cleared and the stimuli of lymphocyte activation disappear, the proliferated cells are deprived of the survival factors leading to their death by apoptosis. The only surviving cells are a pool of memory T cells. Effector mechanisms of cell-mediated immune response. T cells that recognize antigens in extravascular tissues are retained at these sites by integrin-mediated adhesion to the extracellular matrix. These antigen-specific T cells perform their effector function of eliminating the infection, whereas the T cells that do not meet the antigen return via lymphatic vessels to the circulation. Effector function of CD4 positive T cells. CD4 positive T cells belonging to Th1 activate macrophages that have ingested microbes and enhance the phagocytic activity of macrophages. The activation of macrophages is by binding of CD40L with the CD40 and by the secretion of interferon gamma by CD4 positive T cells. Once the antigen is processed, it is expressed with MHC class II on the surface of the macrophages. The T cells express effector molecule CD40L that binds to CD40 receptor expressed on the macrophages. Interferon gamma secreted by T cells binds to the receptors present on the macrophages and triggers the signaling pathway. The macrophages also produce IL-12 that stimulate naive CD4 positive T cells to Th1 subset that again produce interferon gamma, which activates phagocytes to kill the ingested microbes. This interaction between macrophages and T cells underlines the interaction between the cells of innate and adaptive immunity. The antigen stimulated CD4 positive T cells also produce tumor necrosis factor, which further increases the expression of adhesion molecules, resulting in more T cells and other blood cells at the site of infection. Apart from this, CD4 positive T cells also help CD8 positive T cells to differentiate into cytotoxic T lymphocytes as well as B cells to differentiate into antibody producing plasma cells. Elimination of microbes by activated macrophages. Once activated, macrophages express enzymes that catalyze the production of microbicidal substances in phagosome and phagolysosomes. Besides killing of the ingested microbes, macrophages perform several other functions such as secretion of cytokines like TNF, IL-1, chemokines, etc., which stimulate more neutrophils, monocytes and effector T cells to reach to the site of infection. Activated macrophages also produce cytokines like PDGF, that is platelet derived growth factor, which stimulate the growth and activities of fibroblast and endothelial cells, which help to repair tissue once the infection is cleared. Activated macrophages show increased expression of MHC class II molecules and co-stimulators, thus enhancing their antigen presenting function, which further promote T cell activation and amplification of cell mediated immunity. Role of Th2 cells in cell mediated immunity. Th2 subset of CD4 positive T cells stimulates eosinophils rich inflammation and also limits the injurious consequences of macrophage activation. Th2 cells after activation produce IL-4, IL-5 and IL-10. IL-4 stimulates IgE antibody production while IL-5 activates eosinophils. This reaction is useful in defending helminthic infections. The IgE antibody binds to the helminths and eosinophils binds to the IgE. This causes degranulation of IgE which kills helminths. Effector functions of CD8 positive cytotoxic T lymphocytes. CTLs recognize MHC class I associated peptides on infected cells and kill them, thus eliminating the reservoir of infection. The MHC class I peptide complex present on the surface of infected cells is recognized by TCR and CD8 co-receptors. CTLs adhere to the infected cells with the help of integrins which bind to the ligands present on infected cells. The antigen recognition and firm adhesion activate CTL resulting in signal transduction pathways causing exocytosis of the contents of the CTL's granules near the site of the contact with the target. The content of the granules called perforin create pores in the target cell membrane and induce its DNA fragmentation and apoptosis. Perforin inserts into the target cell membrane, is induced to polymerize in presence of high calcium ion concentration present in extracellular environment. Polymerized perforin forms a pore in the target cell membrane and at the same time CTLs secrete granule enzyme called granzymes which enter through pores or by binding the receptors on the target cells followed by endocytosis. Granzymes cleave and activate caspases present in the target cell cytoplasm which induce apoptosis. Another membrane protein called Fas ligand is also expressed on activated CTLs. These bind to the death-inducing receptors called Fas on target cells. Binding of these two causes activation of caspases leading to target cell apoptosis. This is supposed to be the minor pathway of killing. CTLs also secrete interferon gamma which activates macrophages to destroy phagocytosed microbes and also enhance recruitment of additional leukocytes at the site of infection. Natural killer cells and CMI. Another class of cytotoxic lymphocytes apart from CTLs may also be stimulated during CMI. They are called as natural killer cells and are found in blood and lymphoid tissue. They are characterized by the presence of CD56 and or CD16. Like CTLs, they can recognize and kill the cells that display altered antigens on their surfaces. However, they neither display TCR nor are MHC restricted. They are present in the host body without antigenic stimulation, therefore referred as NK cells. They are activated in CMI by T cells as a response to IL-2 and interferon gamma. Some NK cells have CD16 surface receptors that bind to Fc region of IgG. They bind to target cells by the receptor for Fc region of antibody produced against antigen on the target cell. This type of reaction is called ADCC. They may also have receptors for C3 component of complement and can therefore recognize antigens coated with C3.